They'll be calling you a radical. We got plutonium wars. I'm going to talk a little geopolitics right here today. A little bit what's going on with the dynamic of nuclear waste. Plutonium wars. You do know that the United States has sent in advisors and military hardware into the Ukraine. Now this is very real. This is very real dynamic in your head, 1914. Remember, does it sound familiar? Hey, maybe we could have McCain's dam make up the Gulf of Tonkin. You know, let's see whatever else they make up. But let's get real about this. Putin, they're trying to demonize him. I love it how you guys all talk about old war. Michael Savage was a CI plant. There's no doubt in my mind. All those guys. To call it New World Order when it's as old, standing right here. It's as old as Babylon and new as hell. Or, excuse me, as old as Babylon and evil as hell. Edward Abbey, you know, clear back in those days. It really is amazing to me, the dynamic. Now, you do know we have two possible nuclear meltdowns going on in the Ukraine. Chernobyl and Balko. Possible two. Now, let's talk about why and how. Let's talk about why and how. Okay, first and foremost, Putin pulled the supply. He cut it. It's being cut on both sides. Ukraine's the new battlefield for the Queen, her Pentagon. Let's get real. The United States is nothing but the House of Windsor and the House of Hanford's military colony. No one understands any history whatsoever. I'm blown away. They don't understand any history. Hamilton knew it, Washington knew it, Governor Morris knew it, Jefferson knew it, Adams knew it. You know, we go all the way. McKinley knew it, Roosevelt's knew it, the Kennedys knew it, they all know it. They all knew it. They have repatriated the British crown. This is nothing but colonialism. The United States is a colony. Look, let's get real. The Queen's military couldn't beat their way out of a wet paper bag. Are you kidding me? It was everything they could do to even freaking hold on the Falklands. They're a pathetic joke, always have been. They didn't do anything in World War II, nothing. Russia lost 28 million men. But the United States taxpayer and these war-beating Operation Foxconn will do it for. Don't you love how the country is being contaminated by nuclear fallout? In every nook and cranny, there's no answer for nuclear waste. Fukushima, the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history, is ongoing. You got this stuff stored all over, leaking all over. The cancer epidemic's going crazy, and you guys want to talk about the freaking beating the war drums and supporting colonialization for freaking oligarchs. You know, and then there's a simple answer, really simple answer, but you're too dogmatic. You've ate so many dogma burgers and drank so much Kool-Aid, you can't even have the discussion. What's a tariff? Ross Perot got it. He got it. Look over at those two identical twins. He would say, look at those two identical twins. Clinton Bush. Let's see, Bill Walmart Clinton out of the House of Windsor. Rhodes Scholar, Rhodesia. Prescott Bush, George Walker Bush. Oh, we're going to get Clinton versus Bush again? No, that's impossible. American populace isn't that freaking... Oh, yeah. Here we go again. You know, there's an article coming out now that Mike Tyson's going to sing with Madonna, and he says that Mussolini freaking pushed him there. This is how illiterate this country is. Wow. Now you're quoting Mussolini. Wow. Here we go. Fascism? Oh, it's here. It's here. Police state? Oh, it's here. And you gladly hand off. Yeah, granted, we got an older populace that's growing up that's so afraid of their own freaking shadow. I call them fainting goats. Do you even know what a fainting goat is? Boo! Ooh, ooh. You know, wait till you hear the Republican debates. You're going to hear the biggest warmongers in human history just pound each other. Who can go evade mass murder the quickest? What good? I mean, it's amazing to me. So here we go. This is a very big deal. And let me explain why this is such a big deal. There are two possible meltdowns going in the Ukraine. Two. These are on the backs of 1906 Chernobyl. Chernobyl, I mean, the Belarus and Ukraine have been devastated. This is the last battlefield. This is exactly what happened. Now you think about as the feudal system led up, Black Hand, you know, 1914 in your head, right as Einstein was, you know, had his, well, Campbell had his telescopes in Crimea. This is exactly history repeating itself to a T. Advisors, military hardware. Oh, some Americans were killed, will be the next over there. Boom, boom, ooh, let's get them, let's get them. Let's go support the freaking Queen's fake diamond mines. I love how you guys all go buy a diamond. They're not precious stones. You know, what else are you going to fall for? How ignorant is America? How gone are we? I mean, I can't believe it. This is a big, big deal that's going in Crimea right now. Putin's, you can see it, Putin has, you know, he rose up the interest rate, he's called his money back and everything. You know, this summer when we snuck in troops, it's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. And you people in Europe ought to be screaming your head off. These are plutonium wars. So Putin pulls the gas supply. Australia, now let's get real about that warmonger Queen's bitch down there. You know, like I said, pulling the strings. Oh, here we go. You know, they're playing games with their uranium mines in Crimea, so they're amping up production. So they have the biggest nuclear reactor in all of Europe. Had an explosion on fire. There's 2 of them on fire. They've amped up production. They couldn't handle it. There's obvious 2 things. So are they using these things as weapons? Do you know how many nuclear freaking plants are over there? By the one of them was taken by rebels. Do you know how much plutonium's hanging around there? The old plutonium kicking from the old Cold War. Now we have the new plutonium war. This is the hot war now. I mean, wow. I got news for you. These nuclear meltdowns that go in that very atmosphere kill you in North America, kill you in Fukushima. It is safer to live in Tokyo, Japan than it is in New York City. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. The jet stream moves left to right. This stuff goes up into the atmosphere and it rains. We got a cancer epidemic going on. We have an autism epidemic. We have the mystery diseases. We have all the birds freaking dying up and down the coast of Oregon. The starfish dying. The bald eagles all dead here. They're all dead here. 1,000 bald eagles every single year, and somebody says, oh, they go where the food. They've been migrating here for thousands of years. They're not here. They all died in acute fashion. We got environmental poisoners just letting stuff out in the atmosphere. Oh, jobs, jobs, jobs. Well, we have no jobs. You know, and by the way, I love all you guys out there pounding, oh, the dollar's going to crash. What a rally in the dollar. You ever seen such a rally in the dollar? You know, up is down, black is white, yellow is blue, green. You know, Snowden's got to take asylum in Russia. By the way, the Samuel Adams Foundation, which is all ex-CIA guys who bowled it out and understand this dynamic that I understand, guess where they're at? Now think about this. They're not in Boston. They're in Russia. Wow. Wow. Putin's the last stand, I guess. You know, that whole dynamic in Russia, wow. He doesn't want to join the club. I love it how you call it New World Order. It's old as Babylon and evil as hell. These are plutonium wars. You know, we can't get a peep or a word out of the Ukraine what's going on. Wow. I'm telling you, the next step's going to be, you know, I love all you false flag geeks. You know, we're watching. You know, it doesn't matter. People say, oh, we're watching. You've been told the truth about Fukushima. They've been dumping the plutonium into the ocean, killing the Pacific Ocean, genocide in the Pacific Ocean. Tell you right in your face. You don't care. Truth means nothing to people anymore. It means absolutely nothing. Zero. The truth means zero. You've eaten so many dogma burgers. You've drank so much Kool-Aid. You're so illiterate, and I can prove it. This is the most illiterate, ignorant. I started out my PhD right here called post-ignorance. My hypothesis is what the American populace, which I've spilled into the North American populace, the world populace, as the most uneducated, ignorant people in the history of mankind. You know, after 4 years getting leukemia, being in a bone marrow transplant, my incredible journey, my incredible fight with Fukushima, with BP, with all of it, you know, traveling all over the country, everywhere. You know, my in-the-field work, that's what PhDs are supposed to do. My art, my creativity, my, you know, popism is dead. Popism is dead. You just don't know, see that it's dead. What's my conclusion? America is the most ignorant, dumb populace in the, and I, you know, that's not commentary. You know, I walked around. Well, in the early days, 2,000 interviews. What's your opinion of Congress? Oh, well, yeah, who's your congressman? Don't know. Representative government? Absolutely. This country's gone. Ross Perot called it right. Whoosh. You know, you're willing to get up 4:30 in the morning to beat war mine. You know, Fox, I mean, come on. Rupert Murdoch right out of the House of Hanford. Bill Walmart Clinton right out of the House of freaking Hanford. Oxford, Rhodesia. They're back. It's amazing. And like I said, the British military, they could whip their way out of a wet paper bag. The Queen's uranium mines, the Queen's gold mines, you know, her silver mines, the House of Hanford, and you guys are all excited. And by the way, I used to say it all the time, if I ever became the ruler of the world, you know, I used to ask my class that right here. What's the first thing you do? You know, I joke and say that I would invade Canada, you know, and that's, you think about that, Teddy Roosevelt wanted to do it. McKinley wouldn't let him, and then McKinley, I'm the great tariff president, poop, killed by the Queen. We know that for a fact, you know. Sugar wars, molasses wars, cotton wars, you know, technology wars. Now it's plutonium wars. You know, in the reality, it's simple, a tariff, but is that too late now? Because the thing with the plutonium war, we don't recover. You know, Europe was desecrated. We can't recover from the plutonium war. There are how many nuclear reactors sitting in the Ukraine? There's 2 of them possibly in meltdown. You know, we can't get a peep or a word. You know, there's video content showing them exploding and burning. I mean, you think about the new weapons, the nuclear, there's 104 of them in the United States. There's no answer for the waste. WIPP, they've been sneaking in there, and they lied, and I'm the one that reported that the day the salt truck fire. I said, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. San Onofre's sitting on the cliff. Doesn't matter, we got it shut down. There's 40 years of spent fuel sitting there. Yet, and people don't see it. They don't understand. They're like, oh, you're full of it. And I'll tell you why. Because there is no Atticus. We do not have one single Atticus. And this is literature, by the way. You just don't see it's literature. What's in here? Oh, yeah. Holes in it. By the way, Andy Warhol, I wore those when I had leukemia, walked all over Washington, D.C., New York City. I've walked the entire coast of California multiple times. San Francisco, you know, Pacific Beach, San Diego, Los Angeles, Eugene, Oregon, Knoxville, Tennessee. Speaking of Knoxville, oh, there's my paperwork to go see Megan Rice again. Let's see if I got my, I hope I have it. I think I have my protest permit at the USS Reagan. We love the troops. I was the only one. I have the only permit. The only one that even requested permit. NBC looking right down on. The kids are coming over. We're sending to Fukushima, Japan. They're all dying of leukemia, and no one cares. You don't care because you're all frauds. You're feigning goats. As long as you're protecting, they're protecting your equity in your house. You think. What else we got in here? Oh, the carrot juice. There is no Atticus. There's not one single Atticus. The attorneys are a bunch of fraud sissies in this country. They're sissies. They're like British. They're all warmongers and they're all for it as long as somebody else does the fighting for them. That's what they'll do. That's exactly what the British will do as soon as somebody stands up to them, the Queen. That's what they do. Canadians. Wow. Wow. So you're willing to do the Queen's work, I guess. Plutonium wars. It's outrageous. There's 2 nuclear meltdowns going on possibly. You know, who knows? We can't get anything out of there. These are plutonium wars, and these are the worst wars because you can't recover. You'll never recover. And the ocean has been genocided. It has been genocided. And I'm going for my walk. You know, I'll be in New York City. Hopefully I'll see Megan while I'm there. I've been to her jail cell 3 times. Nobody else has, liars. And she's in much better space than she was for a year and a half. She was held in a holding facility that spent for 3 weeks. It was set up to hold for 3 weeks for a year and a half at 55 degrees. They almost killed her. She's an 85-year-old nun. You know, you don't care. You don't care. Dogma burgers, Kool-Aid drinking A's. You know, snout. You got to seek political asylum in Russia. By the way, he wasn't trying to go to Russia, remember? Remember they sounded his plane in Europe, so you in Europe is just as bad as us. I can't believe history repeating itself, and we've always been told that, right? But this is different now because this is the age of fission. Stay in tune.